Hello, this is the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Monday, March the 31st. My name is Barry Anderson, and I'm the moderator of the Trade Ideas Trading Room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in as a guest, or you can use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. So let me get right to the charts. And today I'm going to go over three of the trades that I posted in the room, but I'm also going to show you how you can take a top list and turn it into kind of its equivalent alert window. And I'll do that towards the end of the video. But first, let me take a look at the first trade that I did today, and that was Oracle. Now, let me just back the chart up just a little bit. And Oracle came on this particular top list. Now, if you're not familiar with this top list, this is a list that I do an evening scan or a scan after the market is closed. So I'll do this once I've finished this blog. I will do a scan for stocks that meet the filter requirements, and then I'll have a list of stocks tomorrow that I'm going to be watching. And basically what the trigger is once the stock hits its 20-day high. Again, there are other filters in place, but that's the trigger. And by trigger, I mean that what'll happen is in the first thing in the morning, all these stocks will be white. All these rows will be white, and the minute that the stock hits its 20-day high, it'll turn from white to blue. So that's how I know that the trigger has been hit. So at let me see, what time was it? About 9:48. Right here is when Oracle hit 39.86, right at this level here. So I took the trade at 39.86. I sold half at 40.08, and I sold the other half at 40.04 as it broke down through this level right here. Now, another trade, I should have taken this trade, AEP. This came off this list also, and I kind of, as I said in the room, I kind of outsmarted myself. Let me just bring it up here. And you can see that AEP, its trigger was 50.49. So right in this area here was its trigger, and it had a beautiful move all the way up to almost $51. But I had looked at the daily chart, and I kind of got I just didn't think it would have as big a move as it did, to be honest. I mean, it's a utility, and a lot of times these utilities just don't have that sort of a move, but definitely should have taken that one. But let me just, but I'm really loving the way this is starting to work out. Again, it's great to have a list of stocks to concentrate on the next day. And I'm usually always getting a couple now that are triggering and for pretty good gains. Now, the next stock I posted in the room was APC, and this is not one of the 20-day high breaks. This was off my bounce list, and you can see what I'm looking for. Here's a stock that is being hit pretty hard. These are all 2-minute candles, so many 2-minute candles down in a row. I wait for the last candle. Well, of course, I don't know what's the last candle. I mean, obviously, I can't, if you knew it was always going to be the last candle, we'd always be millionaires. But what's happening is that I'm watching, and so when we start to get a green candle, I will take the trade right above the top of this last red candle. Now, could the next candle start to move back down and then take me out of the trade? Of course it could. But in this particular case, I took the trade just over the top of the red candle, and the price was 84.68, and watched it go up. Of course, I was really, hoping that we'd get a much bigger retrace. But the minute it started going back down again, I took the trade just for a modest 10-cent gain. But I'll take it. I mean, a lot of times what I'll do is, I'll definitely, I don't mind taking 10, 15, 20 cents and getting out of the trade and then moving on. If this had just immediately reversed, so be it. I say that a lot, but so be it, and you just move on. J&J. Now, J&J was interesting because, again, the same sort of thing. This is a bounce play. Look at all these red candles, 2-minute candles coming down. And so right around this area, I would have been inclined to take the trade, right above the, now, okay, granted, this is the last red candle, but I would have I was looking more for this area here, 97.80. But if I took a look at the SPY, or if we take a look at the SPY, what it was doing at the same time, you can see the SPY was moving down. Here it was fairly neutral for the first part, and then it was starting to move down. So right in this area here, the SPY was right here, was moving down during the bounce. And I had said that I really don't like to take the bounce plays if the SPY is moving down. And so I decided to wait, and I had in my mind that if it could break above this level here, that I would probably get into the trade as long as the SPY was not moving against me. So you can see what happened. It started to balance out, be a little more neutral here, and then it started to move back up. So coinciding with this move here was this move here. So I took the trade at 97.96 and I watched it go up to this level here, and I sold it at 98.15 as it came back down through this level. So those were, the Oracle trade I definitely liked. It was a pretty good trade. And the last two, the JNJ and the APC, kind of more like scalp trades, but pretty easy ones. I mean, to me, these were fairly easy to predict, especially when it went through the whole number. And yeah, it chopped around a little bit here, but as long as it maintained above where I bought, I didn't panic too much and want to sell. So those were the three trades that I posted in the room. Now I did take another trade, and I'll show it to you just a little bit because it'll help demonstrate what I'm going to do right here. A lot of people have asked me, is there an easy way to take a top list and turn it into an alert window? And the answer is yes. So this is my bounce top list. So let me just show you what it's doing. Just bring up the configure. So I right click on the window and bring up the summary. And so I'm looking for stocks between $5 and $80, 500,000 shares traded at least. Three red candles down in a row on the two-minute candles, a drop of 25 cents in the last 30 minutes. The low end of the day range, no more than 30% above the high or the low of the range, and an RSI is more than 30, no more than 30. So this is how I get my top list for bounce plays that I follow all day long. But what if I wanted to turn this into an alert window? Well, instead of starting from complete scratch, I mean, we have to start with a new window, but instead of having to actually add the filters in one by one, we can do this. I can right click and then I can collaborate. So now I will copy all. So I've copied this window. I've copied the filters that are in this window. The next thing I'll do is I will go to my TI Pro icon and I will go File, New Alert Window, and I'll just say OK. And now we have a new alert window right here. And then I will collaborate, because remember I have copied this here. So now I will collaborate, and then I will paste into this window. It's just taking a second here. And you can see it says bouncers. It's called bouncers too. And we take a look at the configure, go to the summary, and you can see all these filters are exactly the same. All right. Now the only difference here, I've got this little heartbeat, but I will change that now, because what I want to do is I will just uncheck the heartbeat, and I will now have this particular window trigger every time there's a new low. So all these filters, say OK. So now I've got an alert window that is very similar to this top list window. And the only difference is that this is going to trigger on new lows. Now, why would I even bother then having this bounce window if I could just have this alert window with all the filters in and just have it trigger on the new lows? Well, this is the reason. Let me just back this out for a second, and I'm going to show you a trade that I did take today. Get rid of the SPY here. I mentioned in the room, but I didn't actually post that I had taken it. I told the room to watch it, and what it was is I found UTIW in this particular top list, and you can see this is what happened. Came down here, I watched it here, and I told the room to be on the alert for a bounce of this. I took the trade right around here at 10:35, and I got out of the trade at 10:66. But why I'm showing you this is that here's the difference. I would never have picked up this particular pattern in this alert window, because this alert window will only trigger a stock once it hits a new low for the day. So here is the low for the day. So you can see that up here, it is nowhere near the low of the day. But this pattern was recognized in my top list. So I was able to see it in the top list and trade it from the top list. Now, I hope that makes sense to you. I mean, it may be a little bit subtle because a lot of times I'm going to see the same stocks in both windows. Because if a stock is making a new low and it happens to come in here, well, of course I'm going to see it here. But it will also pick up in this window here. It's going to pick up stocks that are not making a new low, but that have had a nice comeback for the day. So, or pullback, or drop, okay, from some kind of a higher position. So that's what I'm looking for. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a new low for the day that's going to get me into a bounce play. So hopefully that makes sense to you. But at any rate, it should show you how easy it is to take a topless window and convert it into an equivalent alert window, and then you basically add your triggers into the alert window. Well, that's it for today. Let me just bring back the cover page. Here's how to get into the trading room. Hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow. And tomorrow is April 1st, so don't get fooled, and hope to see you. Bye-bye.